About the time my supervisor and my office lead at work decided to play detective and Sherlock Holmes style cornered me in a conference room alleging that I was lying about getting surgery just so I could work from home. I cannot make this up. Hey y'all. You are tuned into The Imperfect Adult. If you are new to my channel, hello, my name is Yaya, and I serve as your guide through the messy maze of adulthood. If you are returning to my channel, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. I am so glad you are here. If you tuned into my last video, you heard me rant and rave about corporate and the disdain I have for it. We're going to dive into a little bit of a story time. And I'm going to lend some credence on why corporate America cannot, in fact, be a real place. It all started when my supervisor at the time, we'll call her Alexa, went on vacation for a week. Now, before she left, she gave me an assignment to complete. She was very much aware that I had had surgery and I was working from home to tend to myself and heal during that time. And the reason I didn't take PTO is because my company essentially had a policy, had really weird PTO policies where you essentially had to make up any PTO that you took. And I was not about to sacrifice my vacation time for recovery. Sorry. Working from home was marginally tolerated, and it was generally just like a bad look. They didn't like it at all. But of course, I had an extenuating circumstance, being so that I had just had surgery. So everybody knew, it was clear across the board what was going on. I've got this assignment. I'm working diligently to make sure I can produce a good product. And in this same time, I'm recovering from my surgery. Fast forward a couple days in terms of my physical recovery. I'd been sitting in the house for about a week at that point. And at my check-in, my doctor encouraged me to begin resuming minimal physical activity and seeing what my body could tolerate. That week just so happened to be the same week that a local professional organization was holding a marketing event that some of my colleagues are presenting at. I thought this would be a good opportunity for me to get out of the house for the first time in a while in a low pressure situation, walk around for an hour or so, and then boom, simple, straightforward. I figured it would be a bonus since it was a work event, and me appearing during my recovery phase would show my commitment to a little bit of the corporate game. So I thought it was a good idea. However, it turned out to not be a good idea, and it went terribly wrong. Now, when Alexa returned from vacation, I turned in my assignment by that point and also returned back to the office full time because my doctor had cleared me to do so. For some reason, Alexa was acting real funny towards me. And I had anticipated when I returned to the office, she would be thanking me for completing the assignment, that she would be expressing her gratitude for me working during my recovery and holding things down while she was gone. And there was none of that. She wasn't talking to me at all. It was really, really weird. Usually we'd exchange hellos and good mornings. She was very silent, very aloof, and I kind of just brushed it off as her going through something personal. And I tried not to think too much about it. And just went about my day. Monday rose by, Tuesday rose by, Wednesday rose by, and Alexa still just locked away in her office with the door closed, not saying anything to me, still avoiding talking to me. And at this point, my spidey senses are tingling. And I'm like, okay, something isn't right here. No, something's wrong. Come back to work that Thursday, and Alexa finally comes to speak to me. And the first words out of her mouth, since I've returned from surgery, is her asking me if I can join her and our office lead, we'll call him Paul, in a conference room. The first thing you say to me after I return from surgery, after like you haven't spoken to me in days, is come and have an impromptu meeting with me and office lead in a conference room. Bro, my palms are sweating. My palms are sweating. I'm feeling like the floor is moving. Is there an earthquake going on in here? What's going on? Am I about to get fired? Because I never had an impromptu meeting with these two people, and I could just smell the disaster brewing. I get into the conference room, and they are sitting at the same side of the table. I mean, they've like quartered me like a couple of freaking interrogators. And can you guess what the big accusation that they slam on the table? What this whole entire kabobble is about? They didn't believe that I actually had surgery. It's no secret that I prefer to work from home, but they were accusing me of making up a whole ass operation so that I could stay home and work from home. They really thought I was that diabolical. And so I'm just sitting here. Do I convince these people that I did actually go into surgery? My mind is just spinning, 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 spinning. Because there's no way I just faked the whole entire procedure and medical operation to work from home for a couple of days. Like, this is a real life episode of CSI Surgery Edition. Because this is just crazy. I'm just sitting here at this point, flustered, bamboozled, don't really know what's going on. And all I could think about was, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. I'm screaming at myself in my head not to cry, not to cry, not to cry. And then, of course, I just start bawling my eyes out. I'm just crying. Tears are dropping. And mind you, I'm sitting here, I'm in an office, just a business casual, here with my creased pants and my black rimmed glasses, just crying and snortling because I just could not believe that they really thought I was lying. They told me I'm untrustworthy, that I'm a liar, that I'm manipulative, and all of this other crazy stuff. And I could not respond. I was paralyzed in grief. I'm also like still recovering from having surgery and like still in pain from my procedure. And I can't believe I thought I was going to come to work and I thought I'd be like, hey, thanks for holding it down. I'm so proud of you. Psych. This was my reality. I'm just sitting here sobbing and they're just looking at me. They're just watching me put on this Oscar-worthy performance and not offering any consolence, any kind of empathy whatsoever. Literally, they are straight up watching me cry. And the whole power dynamic of this whole situation, I think, just like turned up the heat a little bit more. And I like really couldn't deal. I couldn't even really talk without stammering. I was just devastated and distraught. My whole spirit felt broken. Eventually, they decided to go ahead and leave. And I just shut the lights off in the room and just sat there in the dark and tried to pull myself together because I literally have to go back and sit at my desk with all of my coworkers here and pretend that nothing happened, right? And I just wanted to like melt and roll away. After that whole ordeal happened, I pretty much had made up my mind and I was like, it's time for me to go. I'm like checking with my network, getting a pulse check on the industry and what's going on. I had no plans on leaving this company. I had planned to stay to reach certain milestones within the company. And like leaving was a really big inconvenience to me, but it was just so crushing to my soul every day to have to walk into that office and to just know that I had been put in that position. Once I had lined something up, I put in like a 1 week notice and I never looked back. Wild. So, moral of the story is if you're planning on getting surgery and you have a corporate job, make sure you have a solid plan slash paper trail set up with HR in case your supervisor and office lead decide to play you, decide to play detective. Even if you have a good relationship with them, I think it's a really good idea to engage HR so they're aware of what's going on in case all of this backfires in your face, because their wild assumptions where there were their perception in that case were taken as reality. I did involve HR and I submitted all my documentation after the fact, but the damage had already been done. If you work in corporate, play their game and use their tools. Engage HR to protect yourself, because that is something I should have done ahead of time and avoided all of this heartbreak. Although there are also some other issues going on that we'll definitely have to talk about in some other story times. In the meantime, I'm going to work on my acting. I'm going to take some acting classes because clearly my performance needs some work. Anyways, thanks for watching, y'all. I can't wait to see you in the next one. I'm out.